Okay, just my Seadoo 1997 GTX 787. It's underpowered or hesitating during while you're in the hole making turns, but the performance has degraded. So I thought I'd change the carbon ring kit, and while I'm at it, I went ahead and bought the Seadoo Bellows as well. So I'll take you guys in the garage. Parts came in. So hopefully I get it going, and I wish I could perform the testing, but these are the parts. I'm about to change the carbon ring and the bellows. Okay, I went ahead and inserted the rubber O-rings inside. Alright, we'll get it installed. Okay, just for comparison, you could see where the damage is on the old one. And it seems like the bellow is also has shortened or maybe compressed, because the new one seems a lot, just a tad bit longer. Anyway, thought I'd show you the old bellows carbon ring. The one on the right is the old one, obviously, and you can see how much I guess it's worn out. This is the reverse lever. Just get that undone when you're taking it off. There's that 4 bolts that you need to remove. 1, 2, one underneath it, and the other one right there. There's 4 of them that you need to remove, and just the lever right there, and the directional cable, which I already removed. Just take that out, and the entire thing, impeller housing, will come off, and you could replace your drive shaft, bellows, and carbon seal. Okay, taking out the impeller housing just really requires a total of 6 bolts, nuts and bolts. So all you have to do is you got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, and then this 2 other section right here, just get it undone, and the entire impeller housing will come out. And then of course you could take out the drive shaft. Let's go ahead and assemble it. Okay, here it is. Ah, man, I put a little bit of, I gotta wipe that up. It's just a synthetic grease. So I'm about to slide it in and get that going in there. And then push it all the way to the end there, that direction, and then tighten it up with a clamp. Okay, I got the bellow, got the carbon seal set, and then the little boot in there. So I just need to push the shaft all the way back in, and we should be good. Okay, just rebolted the reverse cables and the 4 bolts. That one right there, that one right there, and the 2 underneath. 16 pounds of torque. So that's at least what the manual said. So just following the manual, I did about 16 pounds. Here's that 4-volt bolts that I was talking to you about. When you're putting it back, make sure you have the washer and the lock ring or lock washers, and it's stated in here 16 pounds of torque. Okay, we've gotten to the that was the easy part. I got the floating ring, the new carbon seal, and the new bellows. This is still pretty loose, because the hardest part is putting this pin, this thing, somewhere in there. There's a little groove in there that you have to put this in, so the floating ring gets pushed against the carbon ring. And the way to do that is you have to pull this until that groove shows and drop the ring in and let go of the floating ring. And that means this will get pushed against the carbon ring, and along with the bellows, helps it, the accordion rubber thing in here, you'll push it against each other and allow or do not allow water in, so you have thrust instead of water coming in. And of course you don't have power or thrust when you're in a pocket. So hopefully that works, and I'm gonna tidy this up. But of course you got to put in this little clip in here. We got to put this back as well, right there, and probably just gonna zip tie that here. One note: the manual stated the engine rotation is counterclockwise, and they say this ring right here has to be placed the opposite way. Okay. And hopefully with that, new floating ring, new carbon ring, and of course a new bellows. I also put in new clamps, mine as well. And that's initially what actually happened on my this jet ski. This came loose and it just rotated in here, swinging freely, and it damaged my carbon ring along with my floating ring. And that's the reason why I lost the thrust. Okay, good luck with your project. Okay, here's that the manual I'm following. And all you have to do is you gotta have a lot of strength to compress the bellow and expose that little groove right there. And you could put that metal. Typically, the original part that was in there is just a rubber O-ring. But the replacement part I ordered came with this metal thing, and also from what I gathered, it's a lot stronger. Of course, it's metal, and I'm gonna use the metal instead of using the O-ring or the rubber O-ring, and I think this should hold pretty good for pushing the floating ring against the carbon seal. But this will take a lot of pressure, so I'm gonna have my son help me out compress it so I could drop this ring in that groove, shaft groove. So again, good luck. Here's that notation where when you're putting back this clamp, and see that one right there, the engine rotation is counterclockwise, so make sure that you put this the opposite way or opposite direction, which is clockwise. Okay, that was a pain. This is a completed thing. I got the boot, reused the clamp in there, and I just zip tied in there, filled it with lithium waterproof grease. And this is that floating ring against the carbon ring. The hardest part was getting the bellows compressed. It's a brand new bellow as well, and pure muscle alone, I was not able to you know, compress it that to my right. So the way I did it, if you have an AR, it's kind of like working on your delta ring. So what I did was I put a plank of wood right underneath, and I wedged it against there, and there's a motor mount on both sides, and I wedged it in there, and I just used a monkey wrench, this thing right here, and then at the bottom they keep separating. So what I did was I used a zip tie. It's already cut, but I zip tied it so it would not separate at the bottom, and then used the plank of wood and zip tie underneath and just pried it like that. You have to jiggle it a little bit in order for you not to damage the 2 O-ring inside the floating ring, but it's in there pretty tight now. I can't even move it anymore. It's really compressed, and I don't think any water would get in there. So good luck with your project. Again, put the plank of wood. It's hard to put it in, but it was parallel or vertical, depending on your point of view. And I used the monkey wrench, kind of like a delta ring tool, leveraged it, and I was able to wiggle it. Again, just don't yank it like that. You have to jiggle it and allow it to the bellow to compress, and I was able to put the half moon ring in the groove. So if you're doing this project, that was the hardest part. Good luck. Hopefully this video helped you out. Okay.